What we're going to talk about now are abstract classes. So abstract classes are classes that we create, and the main purpose of an abstract class is to act as a superclass, as a parent class for other classes. So you create a class, and the purpose of this class is to store all the common information that all your children classes will have in common, and maybe provide some methods, just like the person class that we wrote before. However, there is a small difference. The purpose of this class is for just to serve for storing this information and providing that functionality. It cannot be instantiated. You cannot go create a person class. Just like the interface, the purpose of the interface was to provide the contract for other classes. If you want to be able to be sortable, then you need to provide the compare method or the compare to method. So those methods were kind of like you wrote the methods, but you didn't implement them. And you can't go and say, I'm going to create an interface, okay, that is, that's a comparable interface. You create a class that's implementing the comparable interface, but you don't create a comparable like kind of object. And so an abstract is the same. Abstract class is the same thing. It's going to store information. It's going to provide methods, but you cannot instantiate it. And the purpose of it is for it to be a parent class, a super class, for other class to be derived from it. And when you're defining it, you're just going to add the word abstract before the word class to make sure it's abstract. Now, because it's abstract, it has the freedom of creating methods with body. Okay, so it has the freedom of creating methods and having the body filled in so that its subclasses can use, just like we did with the person class. But it also has the freedom of creating abstract methods. And abstract methods are kind of like the methods that were in interface. You are required as a child class to implement these abstract methods. So basically the class is saying, the abstract class is saying, I will store this information for you. I will provide this functionality for you. But if you want to be a child of me, you must implement extra methods. Okay, and so the extra methods, those abstract methods, they have the word abstract in them, and they don't have an implementation. So you just have that header without a body. Now, if you create an abstract class in a method, the class automatically has to be abstract. So if you were to put an abstract class in a method and you forgot to put the word abstract next to the class, Java will tell you that you have to make it abstract. Now, the children classes, like I said, must implement that abstract method. If they don't, their code won't compile. Okay. So here, for example, let's say we have the person class, and it's storing the name and social security number like we have. And let's say it wants to have all the subclasses implement their own getPay method. So in a UML diagram, you would see that written in italics. So if you ever look at a UML diagram and you see a method that is in italics, that means it's an abstract class. So this is the classwork that you'll have to do. This is the end of chapter 10, so there's also a homework assignment. But before I end the video, I actually want to show you what would happen to our person class if we made it abstract. So I'm going to go to the person class, and let's add a getPay method. So I'm just going to add it up the top here. So public abstract, let's say make it double getPay, and I have no implementation. Once I added this, immediately I see a red wiggly line under person, and it says person is not abstract and does not override abstract methods. So it is saying you need to put the abstract keyword. And I do put it there. And now this file is fine. That's all I have to do is just put abstract, and any abstract methods I want to put, I can put them. I can leave the implementation there. So if I want to provide some constructors and methods and the toString and equals, I can do that so that my children classes can use it. But now when I go to my main method, I will find that the line that was creating a person no longer compiles, and it's saying now person is abstract, cannot be instantiated. I can't create a person. I can't create an instance of an abstract class. So this will no longer work. Okay, so that's the first thing. I have to make sure I don't create objects of that type, of that abstract class type, because the compiler won't let me. The next thing, if I go to my student class, which extended from person, I see that it's broken. It says it's not abstract, and it doesn't override abstract method getPay. So now it's saying you need to implement getPay. So I just have to come and implement getPay. And here I'm not going to put abstract because I'm actually going to be implementing it. So let's just make them return sub. So now I implemented the method. The file now is fine. It's compiling. And here I'm probably creating some persons. So let's just make them, just going to comment that out. And then worker here also has to implement the getPay method. So let's add that here too. Public double pay, and let's have them return 20. So that's the concept of an abstract class. The purpose of the abstract class is just for you to provide the functionality, but you don't want anyone to just be able to use this class and actually instantiate and create objects for it. Just like if I'm thinking about MCC, yes, every person at MCC is storing some information like their name, social security number, their address, emergency phone contact, but I don't want any random person walking around campus. It has to be a student, a faculty, an admin, maintenance guy, person, security. They have to have some kind of like class and role and other information stored about them. So an abstract class is a class that provides functionality. The purpose of it is to be a parent class for other classes. It is not meant to be created and instantiated.